Greetings Petrolheads, my name is Tom, you're on my gaming channel, and it's time for another episode of Automation the Car Company Tycoon game. So today I'm gonna be building another replica requested by Jasper Wetzels. It's a Ferrari 355, and for that we're gonna go back to... Here's the thing, the 355 was produced between 1994 and 1999, and it had a 6-speed manual gearbox. Now I don't think that in the game we have the option of getting a 6-speed manual gearbox in 1994, so wait a minute, there we go. So I'm guessing we advance a little bit to like 1996, something like that, and this is the closest body we have to a 355 in the game. Or is it? This is not it though. Like the MR2 style body is still a little bit more similar to the 355 than the F40 style body. So the nose is pretty damn flat. Like that. Still no way of making that bumper, you know, flow with the rest of the front here. The front like the windshield is a little bit, just a little steeper, like so. And yeah, of course we need to flare the wheel arches a little bit later. So first of all we're gonna choose a monocoque. It is a steel monocoque, which is a little bit you know, sobering for a Ferrari. The engine is probably mounted transversely, because I don't, or at least we're gonna do it in this game, because otherwise we wouldn't have enough space for a 3.5 liter V8 in there. And then the panels, I don't know. Steel? No, it can't be made from steel, it's a Ferrari. Come on. Handmade alu? Fiberglass? I don't know. So it's got two 25s in the front, and it's got two 65mm tires in the rear end, so need to flare these arches quite a bit, more than we actually can. So that's disappointing, but it is what it is. And so we're gonna go to the fixture section here. Okay, so we got some pop-up headlights, which again we're gonna do with these things, since we don't have the option of, you know, proper pop-up headlights in the game, at least currently. And where in the car are they? They're actually way lower down. They're like, come on. More like here, but now they look terrible, because they also create holes for some reason. Come the heck on. We can make them wider. Okay, so they're always gonna punch holes into the body. If you look directly at it from the front, it's not too bad though. So let's see, we got a Ferrari badge on the front as well, which we will make like this. Can't really do more than that, other than maybe put a small badge on that as well. Like this. And then on the bottom half we get, first of all, a grill that looks very friendly, very inviting, like that. Then some indicators over here. And some fog lights down there. Alrighty. Oh, and then it also has how do we do this? Yeah, we'll just grab a bunch of these and then put them over here. Yeah, okay. So what do we got on the side? We got a badge over here. But you know, I don't think there's any way of me replicating that properly. So I think I'll just have to leave that. It also has some indicators before the front wheels, about here. And then get some door handles that are pretty small. Much like this. And we get some air vents on the side, which are relatively big, I would say. So let's make him with this. Excuse me? Well, what are we gonna do about this? I can place it directly behind here, but then it's not what it's supposed to be anymore. Tell you what, let's make this a little bit narrower and put it as close to the door frame as we can. And then we're gonna grab some of these again. And do this. This doesn't look like the real one, I realize that, but it's, I think, the closest we can get. And then on the bottom half we're gonna use some, or actually we could use these. Let's try the turn them around. Let's get rid of those. No, It was better the other way. So now let's get this down here. Or we have a smaller one of those. And then one more of these. I mean, this is not, you know, a perfect resemblance of a Ferrari 355 on the side, but I'd be interested to know how you guys would do it, because this is pretty much all I can offer. The best I can offer, I should say. So let's get to the rear end, where we're gonna put a lip on top of this thing. And then drag it across. Like so. And then we are going to put some taillights in. And this is pretty much a very convenient opportunity to pick these. Then let's get the badge on here as well. And alrighty, then we got the number plate about there. We get some exhaust on here as well, obviously quad exhaust because it's a Ferrari. I'm looking for a shot of a standard 355 rear end. Oh, there it is. So underneath that number plate we got something like or is it this? Running across the entirety of the rear end. And then we get to this, the engine bay basically, which is, you know, full of stuff, which is it's very busy up here. And the reason for that is a multitude of either of these. How do they look? I think we're gonna go with these. They get shorter and shorter. Actually, no, they're all the same length, it seems, but they're all shorter than the first one I put down. So let's actually clone this one a couple of times and delete the others. that, and then you get something that you normally put on the bonnet, but technically this is the bonnet, only it's a mid-engine car. It is pretty narrow, like so, and then one of those. Like that. So that is the aesthetics part done. I still very much dislike how the pop-up headlights with these fixtures turn out, especially with the holes here, but what am I gonna do? So let's get it, of course, red, but more like this. Yeah, that's a true Ferrari style red. And then the rear-wheel drive. And then we get to the engine, which is a flat plane V8. It is made from aluminium. It's got 5 valves per cylinder, and the bore and stroke ratio is 85 times 77. There we go. Aluminium head as well. Don't know about these internals, but probably some pretty good ones. Because this thing is supposed to rev really high. Let's see, where does it make its peak power? At what RPM? At 8,250. And the peak torque is reached at 6,000 RPM. So we definitely want a pretty damn aggressive cam profile, like more like 75, I think. I don't think it's got VVT at all, but it's got an 11.1 compression ratio. That's what I have for information. Meaning it's probably multi-point EFI and running on presumably a super unleaded, yeah. The fuel mixture is probably even richer than 13.0, but we can always change that later. Does it have a throttle per cylinder setup? I think this is what the head actually looks like of the engine, so I'm gonna be guessing yes, it does. Ignition timing of 70 or so is fine. Then we want, what's the rev limit actually? What is the rev limit? Probably about 8,500. And then exhausts are what are the exhausts like? Let's go for, yeah, long tubular for now. We can change that later. So it's making 380 horsepower, and that means we need a little bit more exhaust. That's what I'm getting at. 2 straight for mufflers. Let's just click through these. And 366 horsepower is not bad at all. We need to get this cam profile up there. 381. If it had, oh yeah, this is much better. 86. We're gonna make this a little bit leaner actually. What if we go for a standard intake? It doesn't do that much. How much torque do we have? 363 at 6000 RPM. So I'm guessing it's running leaner still. We got some valve float issues, so we probably want to address those. And we also want the power to come in later. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. But then, yeah, this maybe, and then this gives us too little power. And this, oh, we're almost there. There we go. 380 at 8200 RPM. A little bit too much torque, and it comes in a little bit later, but probably it makes the 363 at 6000 flat. Maybe not quite, but similar enough, I would say. Good. Nice. You can also see this is something that many people in quote-unquote in real life oftentimes misunderstand. Oftentimes, I think even in driving school you learn or you hear that you should drive in low RPMs because then the engine is going to use the least fuel. However, that's not true for all the engines. In fact, it's not even true for most of the engines, because look at this here. This here, the economy graph, is roughly the torque curve upside down. Not on this particular engine, not quite, but on many engines that I've built, it is basically that way. So that at the point where you have the most torque, you use the least fuel. That is usually a rough. It's a rough rule of thumb, if you will. So if you buy a car, just check the specs and where it makes its peak torque, and then if you want to go economically, then you just drive around that rev range. That's my advice for driving economically. Anyway, back to this Ferrari. It's got a top speed of about, I think, slightly below 300. Top speed 295, yeah, there it is. So let's give it to 297. 0 to 100 should happen in 4.6 seconds. Or 4.7. So I'm guessing it's probably gonna be in second gear. I am assuming that this car has a diff, but we can talk about that later when we bother about when we're thinking about 0 to 100 times and all that. So it's got 225s up front, 265s on the rear end, but we can't do that, unfortunately. It's got rims that are basically looking similar to these, and it's got 18-inch rims. There we go. And sports tires, obviously. Alloy wheels. And some... what are the brakes like? I don't know. Probably vented discs up front. And then solid discs on the rear end. It's got an under tray that generates downforce when going quickly, but I don't know what that means in practice here. Is that, you know, is that a fully clad or is that a downforce under tray? What I do know is that we need significantly less cooling than we currently are providing. A lot of research on this car has been going into aerodynamics, so I'm putting some quality in there. I don't know. I'm gonna reduce the front wing angle because we don't have wings on the front end anyway, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Interior is actually quite good. So let's say premium and then standard cassette. It's got power steering. Does it have ABS is the big question now. I don't know. It's probably got standard safety and then get some pretty sporty setup. And of course I can record in peace without getting interrupted. So I'm back now. I forgot about what I was talking about, but anyway, here we are in the suspension tab. We're gonna give it some sport suspension here. Pretty low ride height is adequate, I think. And then we get a car that is 100 kilograms too light or thereabout. It weighs 1350 in real life. So what if you really go and make this thing from just plain steel? Yeah, let's see. 1346. So this is more along the lines of what it should weigh. Premium CD. Yeah, brings it up there. So let's see the acceleration. 4.4 actually. This is faster than it should be. So is the top speed. So I'm guessing we give it some more downforce or add a lip to the front, which is not, you know, which is not a bad idea. What the heck is this? Excuse me, does somebody want their feet cut off? I don't think so. So let's get this all the way over here. Make sure we apply this also to... oh, yeah, sure. To our trim that we got here. And then we should have a couple of... yeah, we are going to have some front downforce now as well as some rear downforce. The top speed is 295.6, 295. There we are, 295.2, and the weight is about adequate. The acceleration is still a little bit too fast, but I don't think anybody would complain about that. And hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Now, if you did, please click the like button, it helps out a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future, but for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.